and welcome back to another episode of the Dumpster Diaries. I am Moses Wartooth, and I'm here with
Justin Allen.
And as always, we got news, we got stories, we got just rants about random shit. So let's get on. What do you got today?
Man, I think we just go ahead and start off, man. We're just going to talk about what's in the news. Top story, Israel, right?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, look at
Muslims versus the Jews.
Yeah, never-ending story, man. How long has that been going on?
Dude, thousands of years. I think at least 3,400.
Yeah, but don't worry. That $100 billion that we send is going to solve all that, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I saw a funny meme. It was rockets that Hamas was shooting off, and someone labeled it. They were like, my tax dollars. And then it was like rockets that Israel was shooting off, and it was like somehow also my tax dollars.
Yeah, no shit, man. That's fucking true.
Yeah, you know, I mean, because like those guys, I don't know. I don't even know where to begin, like telling that story. I guess we could talk about the music festival, man. That was like the big attack that really...
Yeah, like really set it off, I guess. Yeah.
You know, and so Hamas, you know, coming out of the Gaza Strip. So, you know, if you're looking on the map, you're looking at the southwest side of Israel, right there on the coastline. And so what Hamas did is there was a music festival happening in Israel, a little over 3 miles over the border. And they shot a bunch of rockets, and they had ground troops that they got into like trucks and cars, and they just literally went to this music festival. And as people were trying to leave, they were barricading roads, and they were just mowing people down.
Yeah.
You know, like there's people trying to get out.
And then they were fucking attacking them from the air as far as paratroopers were coming down too.
Yeah, that was the wildest shit that I'd ever saw.
Yeah, that was like that was like I don't know, like World War III type shit. Some like stuff that you don't expect to happen.
Yeah, some like Palestinian death squad shit going on, you know? And dude, I don't know, man. But one thing I can tell you, I don't think us sending more fucking money is going to solve anything.
No, I think, well, we got the majority of Americans, I think by now are kind of fucking sick of the whole Russia-Ukraine thing. So now we got to funnel some money into another war.
Yeah.
Because I think people were getting pissed. They were like annoyed. They're like, okay, Ukraine, this isn't fucking doing anything. We've dumped hundreds of billions of dollars into them, and we're still... Nothing has fucking changed.
Yeah.
They're still in the same exact fucking spot.
Yeah, man. And, you know, one thing I was kind of reading too, like, this, you could put a tinfoil hat on this one, but, you know, there's some allegations that apparently Putin is kind of behind propping up Hamas, man.
I mean, that would not surprise me in the least bit.
Just to get fucking United States distracted from Ukraine, dude. You know?
And I mean, he figures because he knows we'll play the hero in any goddamn scenario. Mm-hmm. So the more fucking fires, the more wars he can get shafted off. Like that's just more that disperses our resources and our people and our fucking time.
Sure.
And vision on the shit.
You know, and I don't know. The whole thing's just like a clusterfuck. I mean, like Israel's only been a country since the 1950s. You know,
but the Muslim and the Jew ideology has been around for thousands of fucking years.
Sure, absolutely, man.
Like that, like it's not a war. It's not even. I guess it is ideological, but it's more just so on the people themselves.
And like, you know, and I know like America is kind of founded on like Judeo-Christian views, right? But my thing is like, are we really just backing a country strictly based on some stuff like a religion? Like, are we really just going to, like, put ourselves out there on something like that, right? Yep.
It seems like.
You know, I don't know, man. But.
It's weird to me, though, like, why are the Jews fucking hated so much, man? Like, they have faced so many fucking trials and tribulations throughout the years, no matter where their location is. Like, I don't understand.
You want the simple answer that I was told?
Yeah.
All right, so I took a Western civilization class a few years ago, like 2 years ago. In college, and so it was basically the dawn of the first human, right? First Homo sapien, all the way to 1500 AD. So went through all these civilizations worldwide and everything. And so the teacher, the professor, he brought this up because, you know, obviously we were talking about, you know, various religions.
Yeah.
And he actually said that, I think one of the students actually asked, like, hey, like, where does all this hatred for, like, you know, Jews come from? Like, where is this like a thing? And a couple of things. So one, first and foremost, believe in the Bible. They're Christ killers.
They killed Jesus.
Yeah, they killed the son of your God, basically, right? Not a good start, you know, so I don't know. But number two is speaking more to the Old Testament, it was a sin to collect money in a passive way, right? Like investing. Specifically talking here about interest, right? So what the Catholic Church did is they put Jews in charge of running banks.
I remember that because they couldn't do it, so they put the Jews in charge of that to kind of pass the blame.
So, yeah, and after a little while, of course, they created these little pockets of communities, and they became wealthy, very wealthy, and then they became powerful, and they started influencing things, and that's how you ran into the whole, like, oh, Jews control everything, and the Zionist movement.
As Kanye said, Jews control Hollywood.
Yeah. I mean, no doubt.
Which, I mean, there's some, yeah.
I mean, it's just, I mean, have you talked to, like, a Jewish family?
No.
Yeah, man. Like, I mean,
I don't know any Jews around here.
I mean, yeah, I met it here, like around here.
I mean,
you know, like
at our high school, there wasn't a single Jew, was there?
There wasn't a single one. I mean, you know, not that I can recall.
And I didn't know any in the military. Now that I think about it,
I knew a couple.
I was never stationed and never worked with not a single one, which is weird.
Yeah, I worked with one guy. His name was Griffin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the first guy I ever met had the first name Griffin. I was like, oh shit, all right, that's a cool name.
Goldberg.
No. But, he actually told me it was interesting enough. So he would make the worst Jew jokes in the world, like because he wasn't like a Orthodox by any mean or anything like that. He just
grew up a Jew.
Yeah, he just grew up in a Jewish household and stuff. And I think his brother was like Orthodox.
Okay.
Like went into it.
Curl and stuff.
Oh yeah. And so anyway, my buddy Griffin, man, he had like just a bunch of tattoos. And I remember we were out one day having a couple beers. It was when I was stationed in Korea. And he was telling me the story. He was like, if you're Jewish, so like Jews have their own graveyards essentially, right? Like a Jewish graveyard. Mm-hmm. And he said, if you're Jewish though, and you have tattoos, you cannot be buried in a Jewish graveyard. And he referred to it as the Jew boneyard. I was like, good God, man. But yeah, he never quit with the Holocaust jokes, man. Like he would just like constantly, and I would be out with him and I'd be like, hey buddy, like tone it down. You know what I mean? I get it. Like
he was like, no, it's cool. I'm a Jew.
I like you don't really look the part here. Like, you know, so why don't we just tone that shit back a little bit? But yeah, man. So that's where it fundamentally all came from. Like, at least like in Western civilization, like, you know, as far as like hatred towards that community of people, you know, that religion essentially. But then you run into
okay. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
like,
you're good,
in Israel today times, they're not fucking doing anything wrong. They're just living their goddamn life.
No. Well, then it becomes like a beef over like land.
Yeah.
Historically, you know, like the big one. You know, like Muslims feel like Jerusalem is their property and like the Israelis feel like Jerusalem is their property, right? And, you know, that was when like Trump was president and he directed the State Department. He officially acknowledged Jerusalem as the capital of Israel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and people were pissed about that.
Yeah, and it's a huge fucking deal, right?
Which again, that ain't in America. What the fuck does he have? Like, why does what he say goes over there? That doesn't make sense to me either.
You know? So I think it's just more like a symbolism.
The Jews were like, ooh, Trump said what Trump said.
Yeah, you know, he's trying to get a Hollywood deal. That's what it was. You know, be nice to me on those documentaries. But yeah, man, it's just a total clusterfuck over there, dude. You know, and once again, like we talked about, you know, we're just sending money over there, and that's what gets me, dude. I'm like, look, if you're a country, say like Israel, okay. And you know that you have active, like, hostile forces on your border, right? Don't come at me sideways when some shit happens and act like, oh, I need help with this. Like, you've had all this time to prepare. You know what I mean? It would be like if like us and Mexico were in an active war with each other, like we would have the strongest border you've ever seen on the face of the planet. You know what I mean? I'm talking like real militaries, like not what's going on right now.
I mean, we got the guard and the cartel down there.
So, I don't know, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I guess the point that I'm trying to make, you know. And
but again, if as always, if we were having those hardships, Israel wouldn't be sending us no fucking money.
Fuck no, dude.
No one else. They'd be like, oh, America, yeah, fuck you guys.
No, yeah, that money goes one fucking direction, dude, and it's out. You know, like not anywhere near where we need it.
And the fucking like to go back on the Hamas, like there's people who is they're currently checking the serial numbers on those weapons because I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much say that though their weapons came from Afghanistan whenever we left all that fucking equipment over there.
So there was an official request from the Taliban like a week ago I believe, to the Iranian government, right? Asking for permission to travel through Iran to come and support Hamas. What fucking weapons do you think they're fucking bringing?
Yeah.
All that shit we left in Afghanistan. Kind of fucking suspicious, isn't it?
But don't worry, Biden flattened the tires. He was like, go ahead and let the air out of the tires on the Humvees. They'll never figure that out.
Did they even do that?
I think they did like one.
Dude, did I even... You probably had this when you were deployed. Like, when I was deployed, man, like, they literally had, like, procedures...
To destroy shit.
Like,
yeah.
we had
you didn't
thermite...
leave anything. We didn't even... You weren't even allowed to leave a fucking pair of boots behind.
Yeah, we had thermite grenades, det cord, like, literally put thermite grenades on top of, like, a fucking Humvee. It'll melt a hole through the engine block, right? They did none of this shit, which I still think Afghanistan was actually a payoff. Because, I mean,
technically that whole war was a goddamn payoff.
Well, I think it was a payoff because I think they just wanted out, and it was getting unstable, and... I think they were like, hey, I think somebody, like some spooks from the CIA or some shit, were like, we will give you all this shit, but not a fucking single American gets hurt coming out of here, right? And last I remember, like, I don't think anyone got hurt, like, leaving there.
Nah, dude, that was
just let the Americans leave.
No, man, there was still people over there.
Really?
Yeah, like the media, they portrayed that shit, but there was still Americans trapped over there while we were sending fucking airplane loads of fucking Afghanistan people back to America. There was still Americans on the ground.
I gotta quit watching CNN.
You gotta quit watching all mainstream media, man.
It is true. It's
all bullshit,
true, man. But I'm just saying, like, I was trained to destroy equipment, and the fact that none of that was done, even remotely, that's suspicious.
Yeah, but I mean, like you say, dude, like, seriously, you're not allowed to leave not even one fucking round of ammunition. Yeah. Like, literally nothing was allowed.
Yeah, if you can't take it with you, you blow it up. Dude.
Yeah, like, destroy that shit. Even all paperwork, literally
start burning shit. Yeah, dude.
I mean, they didn't have those goddamn Afghanistan burn pits for nothing, dude. That's what that shit was for. Yeah, burn our shit and burn our equipment. When
we burned everything, even if it was like the dumbest shit you could ever imagine.
Yeah, man.
Like, I printed off a piece of paper that said, like, I don't know. I could print it off anything, like a stupid meme.
Fucking DEFCON level.
Yeah. It was just throw it in the fucking fire, dude. It gets burnt, dude.
You got Grumpy Cat in a picture? That shit's burning.
Get that Grumpy Cat out of here. But yeah, man. So, I don't know, man. The Hamas shit is tricky. Like, obviously, like, I'm an advocate for fucking peace, man. I don't want people fucking dying.
Fuck Hamas, man. Like...
Yeah, I mean, of course. Like, I mean, that's a terrorist organization. Like, fuck 100%.
Them. Yeah, so we went from Al Qaeda to ISIS to Hamas. They're all the same people wearing different fucking masks.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, and it's always interesting because there always seems to be a fucking United States fingerprint behind that shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Because didn't ISIS start because we trained, like, some fucking sleeper cells to, like, infiltrate, like, fucking Al Qaeda, and then they became, like, radicalized, and they splintered off into fucking ISIS? And it was like...
they were like, well, we got all this American training, now let's use it against them.
I don't know, man. You know, but...
Religion always will cause war. People in general will always fight because no one can, like, people may be the same species, but we're too different mentally, like...
Yeah. I mean, you see it all throughout, like, animal kingdom and shit.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, you see it with, like, fucking, like, chimps. All the time, like a fucking chimp from an outside group comes in, like they'll just rip him apart, dude. You know, or like just rape him, I guess, or like some crazy shit. You know,
yeah.
I mean,
that's same with Hamas. They do that shit too.
Yeah. So you know, and I mean, humans. I mean, I think that's what people fucking forget. At the end of the day, dude, like we're just animals.
Yeah.
And like we still have animalistic fucking instincts. Like,
and it does best for people like-minded individuals to just be with each other because that's what fucking works. And you're never gonna unify everybody. Like we can't even unify our own country, much less the goddamn world.
Yeah. Speaking of fucking unifying and shit, you're talking about this. You see, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it, but all this protest happening on like universities in America, like on campuses or whatever in America.
Like pro-Hamas.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that makes no goddamn sense.
Literally supporting like terrorism. I mean, I saw videos on fucking Twitter of these guys committing war crimes.
Yeah.
But
dude, how many of our goddamn like actual elected officials have fucking Palestinian flags and that kind of shit?
There's been a few of them,
like,
man.
that's straight that's a traitor,
dude.
Like,
hey, man, there used to be a word for that, and the punishment was fucking death, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Treason.
That doesn't make sense.
Treason. You know?
Did you see? I can't remember the university. It was one of the top ones, like maybe Cornell or Yale or one of those motherfuckers. But there was a group of students who had like a petition that they were saying that they were in favor of Hamas, And a big CEO of a company was like, I want that letter with all those students' names because I will never hire any of them.
Yeah, I saw some shit about that, man.
And then the students were like, oh, they were trying to go back and like, oh, I didn't mean this. They were like, no.
Ooh, real repercussions for saying something. That's what gets, because even like what we do, like the podcast and stuff, dude, some people like in the comments, they'll talk some crazy shit. But like most people are just like, they're pussies, man. Like they'll say all this shit. They can hide behind like, you know, like the internet or whatever. Like,
with the goddamn anonymous picture, fucking real made up name.
And they'll say some crazy shit or whatever. But like they won't never, ever actually put their own fucking neck out there and say some shit.
So you can go ahead and fucking make fun of our asses, but at least you can see us. I can't see none of your stupid motherfuckers.
That's my thing.
I would love to see your face because I'll make fun of you too.
Yeah, those YouTube comments get fucking harsh sometimes.
They're funny. Keep them coming.
I get a kick out of it. I think reading it, you know, like it's fun. It's fun. But yeah, man. So I guess like what I'm trying to say, dude, I'm not like anti-Israel by any means. I just don't want to see it, man.
Us getting involved.
Yeah, I just don't want to see us end up in some bullshit fucking war that we didn't even start.
We like just barely pulled out of Afghanistan. We jump into Ukraine. Now we're kind of we're kind of little easing back off of that. Now we're jumping into this bullshit, man. Like it never ends.
And it's like I think in American history, right, like the entire history of the United States, I think we've only been
not at war,
like in peace for like 10 years.
Yeah, was that even consecutive?
I don't think it was consecutive.
I don't think it was.
Yeah. That's crazy to think about.
It is.
You got a country that's like over 250 years old, and it's just like, well, yeah. Like, I mean, I know we got the military industrial complex and all that, but
I mean, that's what fuels the fire for most of this shit.
God damn, 10 years? Like, you know.
That's all we can manage to fucking stay. So keep our hands to ourselves, man.
You know, and I don't know what the answer is, man. You know, I really don't. But I don't think us paying for this shit, and I don't think us getting involved in this shit.
No, because again, dude, we have serious fucking issues in America right now.
Yeah,
man.
dude.
Like,
I mean, dude,
let's look at our goddamn border.
Yeah, exactly, man. You talk about our fucking border. Some of the shit that I've seen, like, I'm so glad Elon Musk bought fucking Twitter. Like, dude, I feel like since he's bought it, there's like no filter on that shit.
There's not, and the fucking mainstream media are losing their shit about it.
Yeah, dude, because I saw like videos, and he was like, hey, like, well, it wasn't Musk, but it was just a video. They're like, this is live on the border right now. And it literally was a crowd of people. It looked like a fucking concert just got let out. And they were just running as fast as they could. And they were just walking over. And there's literally Border Patrol agents just standing there.
They're overrun, like, dude. Like, they can't do anything about it. And like if a border agent was to fucking, let's say, shoot someone or fucking do anything in
murder
defense,
charge?
Yeah, like they're fucking done. Like
fuck that.
Well, dude, fucking Elon, he went live and he went to Eagle Pass, Texas, which is a border town. Their population is 29,000, and he interviewed one of the fucking like the head border patrol guy of that town, like deputy or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
And he was like, he was asking him, he was like, so what's going on down here? And the guy's like, it is an emergency. Like it is like this is a big fucking deal.
So the guy was just honest about it.
Yeah, he was like, hey, we're getting like every single day on average, we get more than the entire population of our town cross this border every day. So
God damn,
29,000, man, and that's one city. And Elon was like, so is it like this everywhere? And the guy was like, yeah. So that's one town, one section of border is getting 29,000 people a day, and he said it's increasing. He says not one time has it decreased. If you go back 1 month ago,
it just keeps exponentially growing.
Yeah,
probably the word gets out, man.
Yeah,
you know. God.
And now like dude. they were moving them. I saw in New York City. They used to, like at the embassy, they had like come one, come all type shit. Now there is 100,000 border crossers up there, and they're just literally
in New York City.
Yeah,
God.
And like there's 100,000 of them in one location, and they're just. It looks like if you were like waiting for concert tickets, like just lines because they have they're on the sidewalk and they have the fences up,
like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, and they're just sitting there, and they interviewed one dude that could speak English, and he was like, "Yeah, I've been here for a week straight and haven't moved out of this one spot." And he's like, "They give us fruit and water to eat." But he was like, there's literally like we can't like he said, I just stand here, I sleep here. There's nothing for him to do.
But at the same time, like, now this is gonna make me sound like an asshole, but like, one, this isn't your country. 2, you came over here illegally. 3, I don't want to hear you bitch.
Well, no,
you know what I mean.
There's
like,
nothing for
honestly,
him.
Yeah.
Like, again,
so don't come over here and like play the fucking victim and all that shit. No.
Well, no, he was like. he was kind of like, or it was a right wing media source that was interviewing the dude, but he was like looking in the camera, he was like, no one else come over here. Like, there's no, like, it's not
like
good
warning him, like, hey, like,
yeah.
Oh, like our short Kamala Harris, don't come.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
You guys haven't seen that short, you should check that one out.
Dude, one thing that really fucking pissed me off, it was in Baltimore, Maryland. Someone came up,
finest city.
It was one of their, I think it was the goddamn mayor. She came up there and she was like, okay, if you have a rental property or an Airbnb or even an extra bedroom in your home, she was like, I would encourage you to open it up to an illegal, like to.
Are you fucking high, lady?
Dude. And then, so first, like, two things were extremely multiple that. But, all right, the first thing is we have goddamn homeless veterans, homeless Americans that have been this way for fucking years. If you're going to open your fucking home up, let them motherfuckers sleep there. First off.
Start with your neighbor,
Second off, are you going to let some 30-year-old dude who doesn't speak any English sleep in a bedroom next to your 10-year-old daughter?
Yeah.
Like, what the
that
fuck,
sounds like
man?
a great fucking idea.
Yeah, dude. Or even with your family in general.
Or you just say you just live by yourself and go to work, come back, all your shit's gone.
Or you fucking wake up with a goddamn knife to your throat. Like, you don't know.
Could be. It's not like these people are getting checks done.
No.
You know? God dang, man.
Like, that, it's fucking insane.
And you know, like, to go back to like the Israel stuff, I was reading that apparently like a while back, not too long ago, but a while back, they opened up like an open border with Gaza, like where Hamas was coming out of and shit.
Oh, okay.
To allow people to come from the Gaza Strip into Israel to work and do all that shit. And they're saying that, like, basically, essentially, Hamas is, like, for years has taken advantage of this and set up, like, cells, like, within, like, Israel and shit.
And if you don't think that that's going on in America right now, you're fucking stupid.
High, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about it to talk about it, but I was reading some shit. They were talking about, like, legit terrorists are now being, like, suspected. Don't quote me. I don't think they said actually caught, but like suspected of coming through the southern border now.
Oh, 100%, dude. That was another fucking thing that Elon was interviewing the Border Patrol guy. And he was like, so were they all from Mexico? And the guy was like, no. He was like, it's actually more rare to find a Mexico citizen crossing our border now than it is every other else. Like, he said they're fucking China, Palestinian, Haitians, Ecuador.
Damn, dude.
Dude, like, literally, it's just a goddamn free-for-all down there. And there's no checks on them. No, like, literally anybody could come down.
You're just giving your country up.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, like...
And that's what I don't understand. Like, even if, like, the Democratic Party, the ones that are for open borders, like, how does that benefit you? I know you, like, everyone's fucking greedy, so how does that benefit you? Like,
unless... I
don't get
unless
it, man.
I think that they may think that turning them into citizens eventually guarantees a vote.
But that's not how it's going to work, man.
Well, President Ronald Reagan did that in the 80s. So it was kind of a controversial thing because he was a Republican, right? It was a controversial thing, but in the 80s, he made 3 million illegal immigrants. Well, I say in quotation, they were illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
He like sanctioned them as like U.S. citizens. Most of them were like Mexican and stuff. And they lived here for a very long time, but that was like his effort to like control like the illegal immigration process. He was like, okay, like maybe we can like work on our borders and like fucking stop this from happening.
Yeah. And even that's a whole nother story in itself. At least, I mean, those people were established in America. It's
a little different.
Yeah.
It's not fucking goddamn Chinese running over your fucking border, you know?
Yeah, man. But hell, like even like in Florida, the fucking Puerto Ricans and stuff, most of those, like, they're Republicans at this point.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want more, like, they see how it affects, and it fucking fucks everything up.
I'll say this, man. Like, you know the town that, like, I hang out in mostly, like, where I go to school and stuff. So I got a couple cats that I hang out with, and a few of them are illegal immigrants. So a good friend of mine, I obviously won't say his name and shit, but he's protected. Yeah, he's protected by that DACA stuff or whatever.
Is that where your parents are, or if he was born here, or...
Yeah, so he was born in Mexico, but he was brought here when he was 3.
Okay.
And he's lived here since he was 3, and he's never been back to Mexico.
Do you get grandfathered in that situation, or how does that even...
Dude, I am not sure.
Well, dude, I know we went to school with illegal...
Yeah.
Like, and I remember kindergarten to fucking seniors, they went to school with us.
Yeah, because I remember there was a girl I was trying to date at one point, and then she was telling me, she was like, hey, like, I mean... I'll tell you who it is when we're done filming, but like...
I know who it is.
Yeah, so she was like, yeah, like, I'm illegal.
Yeah.
And I was like, how? She's like, you don't have to provide a social security number to like come to school here in America. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was young. It blew my mind. I was like, what the hell? So I don't know, man. But one thing for certain, man, like if you want to have a strong country, you got to have strong fucking borders, dude.
Yeah.
You got to be able to protect what is yours. And if you are a leader in power and you are allowing literal invasions to occur, then I just consider you to be a traitor of the state.
100%.
I mean, talk about impeachments. I'm not necessarily talking about a president, okay? Because there's a lot of fucking members of Congress who they're probably more guilty, if anything, because those are the guys who actually really fucking change
they're
shit.
pulling the strings.
Because all Biden can do is just sign a bill into law or fucking create an executive order that Congress has, I think, 90 days they can revoke or some shit like that, you know? So he really doesn't have all that much power.
But have you seen, like, okay, so one of the strong bases of his entire presidential candidacy and election was not another foot of wall is going to be built on the border.
Oh, and that motherfucker's...
And now he's going back. He's like, oh, guys, we're going to need to build some of that wall back.
Yeah.
And he fucking had some kind of little wormy way out of it. He was like, so Donald Trump appointed however many hundreds of millions of dollars for the wall, and by law, we are not allowed to use it for anything besides what the funds are appropriated for. So he's still putting it on Trump, but he's still going to build the goddamn wall, which at this point, I don't give a fuck who does it. I just want the fucking wall built.
Yeah, like I want it like how the newer one they're building, I want that the entire 2,000 plus miles.
Yeah.
100%. I say we make that electrified.
And I want goddamn landmines on both sides.
And once we get the initial wall up, make another wall, and then we just put like fucking, what do you think, like alligators?
Cayman. I'm thinking,
Caymans are more aggressive.
I'm thinking like DMZ Volume 2 over here.
I think, honestly, the reality is, I think we just need to give like our border patrol agents the right to use lethal force and just make that like,
and we need to send our military down there.
We just need to post fucking signs and be like, after this point, you will be shot.
Like 200 feet in,
don't give a shit.
You're fucking done, man.
Yeah.
And they need to let the fucking landowners protect their property.
Oh yeah, imagine that some fucking land down there, dude.
Dude, yeah. Because they come on there and they're just trashing their shit.
I don't even know, like, I wouldn't even say like the Dems have like an agenda like we were talking about earlier. I think
it's that goddamn stupid. Like I just
think that they don't want to be remotely perceived as being intolerant or like quote unquote like some sort of ist, like a racist.
But there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. Like open borders are cool to an extent. Like okay, yeah, people should be allowed to come over here the legal way.
Yeah, man. Like, dude, if you live in Mexico and you got a fucking, or even like Canada, like you got a fucking ID, you do a background check with our country, you should be able to freely drive over the border, go to fucking work, go fucking home, whatever it may be. Like, boop, scan your card, get in and out. Who gives a shit, you know? But what's happening now is just like disgraceful, you know? I mean, I don't know. But then you also look at like Western Europe, the relationships those countries have, like in the EU. I mean, that shit was nice. They're open fucking borders, man. You just haul ass across there.
And then Somalia and fucking other countries fuck their shit up.
Yeah.
India.
True.
But, fuck. I know, well, like England is a very good example of this. Because they had an open border and people were questioning it. And then now they have an extremely large Muslim population there. Which is okay, but they have came out and said they were like within 10 years we will rule you because at the rate that they're populating and coming into their country, they're going to outnumber the British citizens.
I wrote a paper about it.
Oh, really?
In school for like one of my poli-sci classes, but for Germany.
Oh, okay.
And I did the calculations based on that's when the Syrian refugee crisis was happening and stuff. And I won't go into all the details because it's just kind of like a whole long drawn out subject in itself.
Yeah.
And it's kind of old news anyway. But I worked out the math how in 3 generations, like essentially like Germany won't even be controlled by Germans anymore.
Dude, England's the same fucking way.
They'll be Germans technically, but
they'll be Germans because they're on the land.
Because their parents were there and they were born there.
Yeah.
But they won't have your culture. They won't speak your language.
No, that's the whole fucking thing, man.
And
that's exactly what's happening in America.
Sure. Yeah. Damn, bro, I do not feel good about the fucking future. All right, so let me play a game with you. We'll get on our next topic here in a second. But let me play a little game with you for a second, okay? Say you own a business, okay, and you're just the owner. So you got to hire a general manager, run everything, A to Z. You're in charge of everything. Good, bad, ugly, whatever. General manager, it's on you, right? You want the title, you want the respect, take it, right? You're accountable for all of it. Now, let's say you had a previous general manager, you had to fire, right? Hence the job being available. And the guy sucked, he was horrible, whatever it may be. He's just not there anymore. So you hire this new general manager, and he's been there for 3 years. And he keeps blaming the previous general manager for the current fuck-ups. Would you not fire that guy?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the most like bitch ass fucking complaint, like excuse that you can fucking find, dude.
Because to me, that if I was the owner of that business, I would be like, well, then clearly you're incapable of doing your fucking job if you cannot make any goddamn changes. If you just sit there and roll with the guy 3 years, like doing shit 3 years ago, like clearly you're incapable of doing your job and you don't fucking know what you're doing.
I just gotta say it one time, man. We haven't said it on the show yet, but fuck Joe Biden, dude. I'm done with this fucking dude. You know me, I try to be optimistic. I'm like, I want the best for the fucking country. Obviously, I do, but like, I give everyone a fucking fair shot, but whatever, because I guess you like won the election. I don't know, but like at this fucking point, dude, I'm tired of hearing this dude's bullshit. Like, we need to get a new fucking leader. I know we only got about a year out. Good God, that time cannot come any quicker. I sure.
But man, here's the fucking. Have you heard the new conspiracy, I guess you could call it, but it seems pretty legitimate to me. But so,
hey, we don't believe in conspiracies around here. They're facts.
Truth bombs. All right, so
what you got, man?
Supposedly, if we're in, which I tried to look into this and I couldn't really find a concrete answer, but I've heard multiple people, but again, I couldn't find it in my own research. But it was saying that if we're in a time of war, then we don't have to have an election and the current president will stay in office.
Oh, no,
like it's fucking.
I've heard something about this before.
Yeah.
It's like a thing, but it has to be like an official declared state of war that like Congress votes on.
Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, it's not an easy task.
So my question is, could you see that happening?
No.
No?
No. There's not one political party has enough control like in Congress to do that.
I don't know, man.
We'll see how the next election goes.
Tune in next time, 24.
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely fucking possible. I mean, you just can't trust any of these fucking douchebags.
Anyone, man.
Yeah, man.
Anyone,
So
either party.
You got to say every Democrat would be on. Like, so let's use the scenario. Say Joe Biden wanted to do that, right? Just.
I don't think he would want to. I think someone else would want to push that.
Probably. But I would just say every Democrat's on board. And then they had to flip like a decent amount of fucking Republicans too.
Yeah, but how many? Either like how easy is it to flip people? It's pretty fucking easy.
And well, how many fucking rhinos do we have?
Money
there?
talks.
Republicans in the name only.
Yeah, dude.
In name only.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of those motherfuckers.
Very fucking true, man.
Are basically living up there.
Yeah.
God, dude, we need to put term limits on those fucking bitches, dude.
We do, man, and we need fucking age limits, dude. They're too goddamn old.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're 87 years old and controlling what a goddamn 6-year-old kid, if they can cut their dick off or not, man, like, you don't have any business doing that.
I think whatever the age of retirement is for Social Security, I think now it's 67. That should be the cutoff for, like, public office. Like, once, and if you don't like it, I don't know, fucking change it, I guess, but, like, whatever. But, I mean, I just feel, but then again, like, I don't know, dude, because, like, you meet some people, because what, like, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he's what, 65?
I think so.
And that guy, I watched a video of him. He did like 30 pull-ups the other day.
Yeah.
And he was jumping off a cliff into like a lake.
Or he was jacked. I'm sure he still is.
So I don't know, man. I don't know if like putting an actual age limit
maybe not an age limit, but like.
Because if we put an age limit on it, I can't have my supreme leader back.
Yeah.
Donald Trump. It's like, so I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Is it a joke? I don't know. We'll find out. He's up like 50-something% in the polls, and he hasn't debated one single time yet. So,
dude, he's gonna be running the country from a prison cell.
Dude, dog. I kind of hope that happens,
dude. Well,
it'd be the first time ever in history that's happened.
It would be fucking cool.
A dude sitting in jail becomes president of the United States. He can instantly just pardon himself and just walk right out of there.
What's really
what was he gonna have, Secret Service in prison? I mean, his ass ain't going to
He's going to need it, man. Epstein.
Yeah, his ass ain't going to fucking prison. I'm calling it right now. Even if he's guilty of sin, he's not going to see a day in jail.
He better not, because they would need to be arresting every other motherfucker for doing the same shit.
Yeah. I think he knows enough about fucking people, and I think he has enough influence. I don't think that they would let him go to jail because, I mean, dude, just look at what happened on January 6th. Imagine if he's sitting in fucking jail and gets elected president, and they're like, no. Or some crazy, like, you thought that shit was crazy? Now, I'm not condoning violence by any fucking means. Don't do that. But I'm just saying, like, that's...
But personally, I don't even think I don't hold him responsible for January 6th.
No, not by any fucking means. No. That had nothing to do... He didn't plan any of that. He had nothing to do with him.
January 6th was a goddamn inside job, man.
Yeah.
That was not fucking some right-wing idiots fucking go and fucking shoot up the White House. Which, by the way, nobody got fucking killed except an innocent woman who got shot by a Secret Service dude.
Oh, did I ever tell you I know a guy who knew her?
Really?
Yeah. I worked with he was a military police. Well, I was obviously in the military. And so he posted a thing on Facebook about her. He was deployed with her in Afghanistan.
Oh, okay.
Like a couple of years prior or whatever. Mm-hmm. And because she was a military police in the Air Force as well. And he just wrote, it was actually a really nice post. Because the people were talking about it being a conspiracy, like, oh, did she really die? You remember all that stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, that shit always happens. And he just posted a really nice thing. He was like, this is the person I knew. This is what she was like. He was like, Ashley Babbitt was like a really nice lady. She was a really good leader. He was like, I have nothing bad to say. He was like, just please, out of respect for her and her family, like, just keep the negative comments and conspiracies to a minimum. And he just left it at that and never commented on it again. Didn't reply to anybody else's stuff on there. I thought it was pretty good, man. But yeah, those what you said, those alleged quote unquote right-wing nuts, aka federal agents, telling people to go in the building.
Like, okay, you know something is wrong whenever Alex Jones is telling you not to go in there.
Yeah, dude, he was like, don't go in there. He literally was saying it's a trap.
And he was fucking right, man. That, like, if even Alex Jones can call it, dude, like, reevaluate some shit.
Dude, I love Alex Jones, man.
He's awesome. He's hilarious.
I really hope, like, eventually, like, we get enough subscribers and get enough, like,
to get seen by him. Like,
yeah, dude, I'd go on a show, man.
Dude, I would love to go. I would just sit back and listen to him rant. Maybe fucking fuck with him a little bit.
Dude, I'd have him over just for a barbecue. Like, we don't have to do a show. Like, just talk to me, dude.
Like, I've got these documents. Do you mind reading them?
Oh, shit. When's our conspiracy one? Do we have a... We're dropping the conspiracy one soon, right?
We are. Soon.
Yeah. We might do that a little earlier. Whatever.
Very soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I fucking ran it. But here's the thing. Here's my prediction, all right? We're just going off on, like, politics now, dude. But, like, here's my prediction, dude. And I'm going to call it right now, dude. I'm telling you, Donald Trump is going to win the next election. Hands down. And I think it's going to be a major landslide.
And I think whenever that happens, people are going to lose their fucking mind. Like, if you thought the last time was bad, like, they're going to be like...
Which brings us to our next stat.
It does.
You want to read that?
Yeah, so a recent poll by the University of Virginia says that 41% of Biden supporters say violence is justified to stop Republicans, and 38% of Trump reporters say violence is justified to stop Democrats.
Trump supporters, right?
Yes.
He's called them reporters.
Oh, Trump supporters. All the reporters.
So... basically, 41% of Democrats feel like violence is acceptable, and 38% of Republicans.
So damn near 50-50 on ever. Like, we'll just call it 50% of both parties. So that's half of the goddamn country.
And I didn't know that until you pulled it. You were like, hey, like, let's talk about this during the show or whatever. And that's, like, to me personally, because, like, I mean, we're advocates against violence. Like, we don't want that, of course. Yeah. But when you start seeing that shit, that is not. That's a recipe for disaster, man.
That's Civil War Volume 2 coming out. Like,
yeah, dude, and that shit's gonna be ugly if that shit ever happens, man. Even in, like, small pockets, if that happens, it's gonna be ugly. You know, so
I think part of it is we've all, as a society, have become so desensitized to violence that we don't really think, like, it's just it's just like muscle memory almost at this point, because we see it, we hear it. All, like, everything is doom and gloom. Like, I watch fucking videos of people looting and rioting all goddamn day.
Yeah. So, well, I think people have become desensitized to seeing it, like, visually, like, behind a screen. But the reality of seeing it in person, I don't think most people are even remotely prepared for that. And I think that's going to create a lot of pandemonium.
Yeah.
Like, because, I mean, this isn't like, oh, people looting a Walmart. Like, this is... like, people are actually capping people on the streets and shit. You know, so that's going to be a different story.
That is already going on in our big cities. Chicago comes to mind.
God damn it, dude. I can't even I try to be, like, optimistic to some degree, and you got to hit me with some truth. I'm like, fuck, all right, like, here it is. Maybe we are fucked. Well, that's why, you know, like, I had high hopes for RFK Jr., which he's not going to win by any chance now.
No, not now. Independent.
Nope. And he backed out of that shit real quick, and I'll tell you what I think about that here in a second. But I had high hopes for him, man, because he he was more like center. We've talked about him a lot on the show or whatever, because I liked him a lot, like starting out. And I still like the guy, don't get me wrong, but you know, I mean, he was all about like strong borders. I mean, I'm not going to go back into the details. I mean, we've already covered it, but strong borders was a big one. He's like wanted to finish the border wall and all this other stuff.
He said COVID, that whole thing, the vaccines were bullshit.
He's skeptical of that, you know, just all kinds of stuff, man. And he had like a really good shot at potentially like kind of building a bridge between like the left and right.
Yeah, because both parties could agree with some of the stuff that he was saying.
Because like, you know, like some of his liberal ideologies, I'm kind of like, hey, that might not be a bad idea. And I use that term lightly. It's like, you know, but like maybe we do need to do healthcare reform in this country where you don't go fucking bankrupt if you get a fucking, you know,
broken leg or some shit.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But, you know, I don't know. But I think he just looked at the numbers, saw that he wasn't getting the fucking support that he needed early on, because I'm sure they got a fucking load of people doing these calculations.
Oh, yeah.
And he just comes out and is like, I'm running as an independent. And I think that was his way of bowing out without bowing out. Because the independent's never going to win.
Fuck no.
So he can always be like, I still ran. I still tried. I didn't give up.
Yeah, but he
gave up.
He played it wrong, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I would have stayed with the Democratic Party and just sucked up all those votes and then let a Republican win.
Yeah, but they were blackballing him. They didn't even want him to like debate or do anything. Like it was dirty, man. I don't trust the fucking Democratic Party, man. I mean, I remember when all that shit was coming out about Hillary and like her fucking leaked emails and shit. I read all that shit on like WikiLeaks, dude. Like,
dude, and
they were sabotaging their own like candidates trying to run. Like they fucking. That's why Bernie Sanders didn't get the nomination. And they were like literally typing emails to like the leaderships in the like the DNC, like, and they were just like, hey, maybe how can we attack him? And I remember one gentleman was like, oh, maybe we should go after him because of his Jewish beliefs. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
fucking, that's a Hamas supporter right there.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. So that's the fucking world we live in, folks. And the fucked up reality is like, honestly, like, fucking probably a decent amount of Republicans are just the same, dude.
Oh, 100%, man. No party is fucking saints in this war. Like, there's equally fucked up shit on both sides. But I will say the Democrats, they seem to be more blatant with it. Like, they're not afraid to just come out and just be like,
yeah,
this is like, they don't, because
at this point, what are you going to do, right?
That's what it fucking is, man. They have there's no repercussions for them. Whereas if a Republican does it, they get nailed to the fucking wall.
What's that Trevor Moore song? Time for the Guillotine? Or he has a whole song where like he's talking. It's about like leaders, like political leaders, basically doing shitty jobs, and the whole like course of the song is like it's time for guillotine or whatever. And it's like this group of people pulling out guillotines, like shoving these politicians' heads in there, like talking about just starting completely over. Like, God, I miss that dude. That dude was so fucking funny.
But then you run into the next thing, like, okay, so if we were to theoretically wipe the entire slate clean, how soon do you think it would take for us to be in the same position we're in now?
One election cycle?
Like,
I don't even think it's even the Congress. I don't think it's even Congress. Like, I think it's corporations.
Like, where does it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you really want to look into like who runs America? It's corporations, man.
Yeah,
those motherfuckers who sit on Capitol Hill don't have nearly as much power as they would like you to believe.
No, they make the decisions, but they're paid to make those decisions.
And for the listeners who think that I'm just talking out my ass, here's the thing: go ahead and name some politicians, right? Some congressmen, women, whatever, right? You can probably name quite a bit. Now, can you name me any board members of BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard? Exactly. That's how they want it.
Not only them. I mean, this goes back to fucking pharmaceutical companies,
Lockheed
Nestle,
Martin, Raytheon, like all this shit.
Dude, food. Did you know, like, the sugar industry is like, they spend more money in lobbying than even tobacco.
No doubt there, dude. You know?
Because, again, America, we talked about this before, so I won't hone in on it too much, but like our food quality and what we're allowed to eat is fucking garbage compared to other countries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shit'll fucking kill you, man.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, man.
Red dye 40, cancer.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Red dye 40.
Red dye 40 is the worst out of all the dyes now.
Yeah,
so I know we're gonna die anyway, but at least if something's red, I try to at least not eat it.
I don't know, man. I'm just banking on at this point now that my man RFK Jr.'s out. I'm like, fuck it. And I said this from the beginning. My top pick was RFK Jr. Under that was Trump. I'm just hoping fucking Trump wins, dude. I feel like that. I feel like if he sets foot in office, all this shit in the world, people start thinking twice about.
They really do. I mean, that's what happened his previous term. Like, China, they set back. North Korea set back. Russia didn't do anything. And then it's like... But
they just waited until they got...
We all called it, though. We knew. Like, as soon as Biden was in office, we were like, okay, we have a fucking meat puppet running the show. Like, people are going to start fucking around because there's, like, nothing's going to happen to him.
Yeah. And, you know, and what gets me, man, if you look at, like, history, like, world wars, right? So, like, compared to, like, because you hear that. You heard that with Ukraine. Now you're hearing it with Israel. People keep throwing around World War, right? It's going World War III, right? This is going to start it. This is going to be the thing that starts it. With those world wars, there was actually, like, a lot of other conflicts that were occurring, smaller conflicts.
Yeah.
And it was literally, like, stacking dominoes, right? And then it takes one major event, well, quote-unquote major... we can go into that shit later anyway. That kicks it all off, and then now you have like these 4 or 5 like conflicts occurring that jump into the pot together, and then that's how you get that fucking world war.
I mean, we're currently in the recipe.
It's setting the stage for it. So I don't think Ukraine's gonna cause it. I don't think Israel's gonna cause it. But mark my fucking words. Ooh, god damn it! I hope I'm wrong. There's gonna be another conflict. Something's gonna happen because you got the shit in Nigeria happening too. But
you know what tends to happen, or you know what tends to cause these things is whenever we have an attack at home. Then we're like, okay. And then that's what unites our people and pisses everyone off enough to just be like, war.
So here's the thing. This is kind of like a morbid fucking conspiracy, right? A wartime president always gets reelected.
Yeah.
Do you think Biden has the fucking balls enough to allow this shit to fucking happen just so he can secure his fucking presidency?
I mean, he's just sitting on his hands right now.
I'm just saying. Something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. You know, so that doesn't make me feel too fucking good, but I can see the dominoes getting fucking set, man. And
I mean, dude, like we have with our open borders, like there's who knows how many goddamn sleeper cells are in America right now,
dude. It's fucking scary. I mean, especially like we live in like Southeast Texas, dude. Like, what the fuck, man? You know, like, come on, like. I don't live in Pennsylvania. It's like this is like my backyard, basically, you know? Like, come on.
But
you're a fucking racist asshole for saying that we need strong borders, Moses.
Don't care. I mean,
oh my god.
If it has to be said and if it's the truth, fuck it.
All right, man. We've been ranting about this shit. This is like all doom and gloom. You want to like switch it to a lighter tone note, man? Get on some funny shit, or you want to keep like hacking away at this?
One more fucking hack.
Get it out of your system. What do you got? What do you got, man? Because I know we got some funny things we want to talk about too, man.
We do.
We always leave on like a good note, man. We can't leave people like driving to work going fuck. Like right. You know, like
oh, what am I doing this for?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Wartime presidents always get reelected, man.
I mean, so. I feel like I don't know if our next election really is important, man. Like
you hear that about every election, but I really feel like this one.
I know we say this every time, guys, but this time, I really feel like this shit matters. Our next election, man. Like, a lot is going to be determined.
100%, man. I just think the American people have to make a fucking choice. And even like a lot of my more liberal friends and shit, man. Well, they're more like center, but liberal center, right? Mm-hmm. Dude, they're all about like. I've talked to a few of them. They're like, if Biden is on the ticket next to Trump, they're like, I'm voting for Trump. So that's the level you're getting at now. So, but mark my words, man. I will say it again. I just want to make sure it's out there, man, so it's recorded and I can say I was right. Between now and when the next president, whoever it may be, sets foot in office, that January day. So what? Let's say roughly. Year 3 months ish, something like that. Yeah, okay, there will be another conflict that will involve like
someone else.
Yes, there'll be another Israel, another Ukraine. Something will happen. It might be Taiwan with China.
That I'm actually surprised that hasn't happened yet. Because I've been expecting that, like, because China's been threatening the Taiwan shit pretty much since Biden got elected. I don't know what they're holding off on. Maybe but that could be coming soon. Like,
I just think it's a tactic, man. Just like fucking drag out your fucking enemies, dude. Let them tire out. I mean, like everyone was talking shit about like, dude, this might be a longer than like normal episode. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, okay.
Fuck it, because I just keep going about this shit or whatever. But Dude, because like everyone was, you remember like everyone was bitching like when it fucking Putin invaded Ukraine like initially, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, they were kind of making fun of him. They were like, oh, he thought it was going to be a 3-day campaign, and then now it's turned into like this multi-year like thing. I guarantee, I'll put my sack on the cutting board right now, dude. That dude never for one single second thought that was going to take 3 days.
Oh yeah, just an immediate, easy takeover.
Yeah, not at all. Hey, this is playing out. I would bet exactly how he fucking anticipated.
Plus, okay, if he thought it would take if he thought it would be a short thing, he would have already done it.
Mm-hmm.
That like, if it's that goddamn easy, he wouldn't have let him sit there for that long.
I think he's tested like his military too, found out where the weak like fucking branches are, like the Wagner group, well Wagner, like however you want to pronounce it, but the Wagner group got them fucking out of the way, like they're fucking exiled in Belarus now. He's just trimmed the fucking fat, and I just think he's just literally just dragging it out as long as he can, because that's more money we send. That's more fucking weapons we give. Yeah. And I was reading a fucking report the other day that they were saying that the fucking United States, our fucking munitions resources, right? Our reserves are dangerously depleted now because we've been just giving shit away, using bullshit training, what the fuck ever.
Just like our goddamn oil reserves are the lowest they've been in fucking years.
God damn, dude, I'm really we're getting fired up on this episode, dude. I mean, because when you look at it, if you look at it on paper, dude, current leadership, all this shit fucking happening.
The people
that is someone actively working against the best interest of the United States.
The people that are leading our country do not give a fuck about America or the American
people. How the fuck are these cocksuckers still in office? Who keeps voting for these dudes? I've never met anyone who's voted for these guys, man.
No one knows, man. It's a goddamn but it's like the term limit thing. Once they're there, they're fucking there till they die.
I know, man. God,
like we've got people sitting in fucking office seats for like 38 years. Like, that's fucking insane.
It's insane, dude. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And
that's longer than a retirement. Like,
you're so out of touch at that point. You think any of these old fucking geezers, I mean, which I'm not like a fucking ageist, right? Like, I ain't gonna fucking be like, oh, you're 65, you have no idea what you're talking about.
No, I mean, I like my grandpa, he's old, he's cool. But
but dude, like, but the reality is like, how the fuck can some 65-year-old dude who spent probably the majority of his life never using the internet, sit here and regulate things like social media, like TikTok, all that shit.
When they can't even operate that shit.
100%.
And that's not on them. That goes off of like your generation. Like we were like the median, like we grew up with the invention of the internet. Yeah. Which is what's cool for us. But even now, like, I'm fucking 30 years old. I fucking hate TikTok. I don't know how to use that shit.
Yeah, I don't
follow us on TikTok.
Follow us on TikTok.
I don't want to do that shit. But it's like whenever the older you get, okay, my dad is fucking 83 years old.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to operate computers.
Sure.
He doesn't know how to do that kind of shit. And all like your
can't even fix his cell phone. You have to do it for him.
Yeah, I got to drive 40 minutes to go turn his goddamn phone on. But he doesn't like whatever age you grow up in, your mind doesn't really change from that location, if that makes sense. Like if whatever you're
kind of stuck in that era.
You are.
You know, yeah.
Like you can adapt to some shit, but your mindset doesn't leave that era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Speaking of not being on social, because you and I don't really have like a large. Oh, hold on. Like I was gonna say, you and I don't have a large social media presence, but I was like, wait, we actually run a podcast.
It's growing.
Yeah. So in my personal life, I don't use like social media.
No,
like,
dude. I only have the only reason I have social media is to fucking sell shit and make money. Other than that, I wouldn't have none of that stuff. I don't care.
A friend of mine came across our podcast. I never even told him about it. Came across our podcast, and he was like, you know, it's kind of funny for a guy who doesn't use any of these social media platforms. Your face is actually plastered like all over them, you know? I was like, yeah, like I can't even tell you how Instagram works, dude. I don't fucking know. I found out the other day Facebook owns Instagram. I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. But I don't know, man. So do you have fucking faith in the future of this country, man? Do you think it's going to turn out all right? Or, I mean, you know, because America, man, like, whoa. We got a good history, man, of overcoming a lot of shit, man, and coming out squeaky clean on the backside. So.
We do, but there's gonna be like a major fucking conflict, man. There's too much shit going on. There's no hope that we're just gonna wake up one day and be like, we need to change for the better, and everyone's gonna be on board and everything's just gonna go correct.
Yeah.
Like it all, like violence, not inciting violence, but like bad things are going to have to happen before things get better.
Yeah. What's that whole saying that it was like, what is it?
It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better, some shit.
What is it? Yeah, that's one. Was it hard times create strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times.
Yeah.
And it's just a revolving cycle that just keeps going and going and going. I think there's a lot of truth to that, man. Now, here's a fucking scary scenario you want to think about. Imagine World War III kicking off, right? Boom, we're in the shit because we're one of the major superpowers, okay? Of course, we're going to be involved.
Think about our people.
Simultaneously, exactly. Simultaneously going through a civil war. That doesn't end.
Well, and I mean, we're dealing with 25-year-old men who can't even change a tire.
Yeah.
And,
or they don't even know what gender they are.
Well, that either.
You know, like I sit in class and there's like students that literally get offended if you don't call them like they, them. I'm like, how does that even work in a fucking sentence?
That shit changes day to day too.
Yeah.
Like I've watched interviews with people and they were like, oh, some fucking weirdo motherfucker had on these bracelets and it looked like a woman, but it was like, today I feel like a they. And I let people know what I am by the day by what bracelet I'm wearing. And they were like,
it's gotta be
green
the dumbest shit.
I was like, dude, I don't know what you are and I don't really fucking care. Like, that has nothing to do with me and I don't give a shit.
Yeah. You know, I just think like, you know, we're like the majority of like fucking American people. We're just tired of fucking hearing this shit.
Yeah.
And it's not just like any one group or any one movement. It's just like not everything has to have a fucking flag and a banner and be a fucking big movement.
No.
That fucking have its own hashtag.
Back in our day, the only flag was a goddamn American flag.
Old faded glory right there.
Yeah.
It'd be a good time to just play the national anthem and then we just like stand up like salute and shit.
Cut the black. But yeah, man, but what it is, you fucking said it. Weak men create hard times. Whenever there's nothing for it, like we don't have any hardships. The average person, they have no fucking struggle. And if it is, it's because they created it for themselves.
It's third world problems.
Yeah. There's no like first world.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Third world problem. Like, we don't have any
real shit.
We don't have running water. Yeah, that's a hell of a fucking problem. Yeah, first world. There we go.
But there's shit like, I mean, I'm guilty of it too. Like, I'm super pissed if my internet goes out. But
yeah,
like,
sure.
Do I still have clean drinking water? Do I have food? Do I have food in the refrigerator? Like, yeah.
Yeah, but I think guys
take
like
that shit for granted.
Well, because you and I are like war vets too, man. Like, because you went to Afghanistan, like I was in Iraq, and I think that like in the moment we might get frustrated with things, but we don't let that fuck us up.
Well, yeah,
like these guys, because we know what a fucking actual like I won't say shithole country, but like a war torn third world country looks like.
Yeah.
Man. You know, and then I did, you know, all that humanitarian work and shit, like in Brazil and stuff, man. Like that. I mean,
yeah, I think that's like knowing what we know and like having been to other countries. That's what pisses us off so much, is because like to me, anyone over here is just a fucking whiner. Like they don't know a real struggle.
Pussy is usually the word I use.
Yeah, like they don't. Like if they were to go to another country and actually experience what those people have to deal with,
they'd crack.
Yeah,
they'd crack. They'd die. They would die in the streets.
And those people would fucking eat them.
Probably.
I would.
Hey, man, they had tribes down there in fucking Brazil, man. We went pretty far down there. But
I'm not above eating somebody if I'm hungry enough. I don't care. Throw that out.
Yeah, if survival's depending on it. Yeah, dude. All day, brother.
Cook them up. I got an air fryer.
But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I just think another thing like that, you know, speaking of, you know, people today, I don't even want to blame it on a generation, because I don't even think it's even a generational
It's
thing.
not a generation, because it has been allowed to happen.
Yeah.
This shit would not be...
Because you see people in their 40s doing this shit.
Dude, like...
You know? That GameStop guy? It's mail.
Yeah.
I'll show you, man. Step outside, bro. Like, bro, that's a dude, man.
What was that fucking the high-level army guy that's a trans...
Oh, yeah.
That? I mean, he's like 45 or 50.
Yeah, dude. Man, like, I don't fucking know.
But yeah, it's you're right. It's not a generational thing. It just, like, the expression, you give an inch, they take a mile.
Sure.
The more you allow, the more people fight to fucking push those boundaries, until now it's just a goddamn stupid ass free for all.
Yeah.
Like anything fucking goes and you get offended by everything.
The most ridiculous shit you can imagine, dude. Like God.
I would be called a racist for talking shit about somebody who likes to fuck cars.
What happened to just being able to tell people to fuck off?
I don't know, man.
You know what I mean? That was like kind of like what we did. Like it was like, oh, you don't like that person or whatever they did. Like fuck off. I'm gonna deal with you. I'm gonna mind my own fucking business. You know. But like another thing that I've noticed too, man, is like people today, especially the younger generation, which we're kind of like caught in the crosshairs of, I guess. But like conflict these motherfuckers cannot handle any form of aggression or conflict at all. And I'm like, not all conflict is bad, dude. Like
sometimes it's just a general disagreement.
You just disagree.
Or a calm argument.
Yeah. You know, but then like they just fucking freak out, dude. And then it's just like
literal meltdown.
Turn to the internet,
like
I guess.
PTSD type shit.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
can't handle
And it's just like, dude, like that's a part
of life. Not everyone is going to agree with you.
Of being a human, drop my pen. But like that's a part of being a human, man, is like
we said, like people don't get along. People aren't the exact same. Everyone's fucking different.
And then, you know,
it's okay to disagree with people.
And I think that's part like a big part of the problem, man, is like now like you have people that like can't face confrontation head on. So what they'll do is they'll hide behind the internet, right? And then that's how you get these weird fucking crazy movements that start occurring.
As Joe Rogan likes to say, echo chamber.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. You just get that feedback, that positive loop feedback of what you want to hear and only what you want to hear.
Which the same could be said for people that watch CNN, people that watch Fox News. Like they have their agendas in their head and then they watch those news stations and it just reiterates what they already want to hear and what they believe.
And that's why
it just forces them down even more into them being narrow-minded and not wanting to listen to what other people have to say.
Yeah. And I mean, that's why we joke, like we'll joke around, you know, watching news or whatever, but like I actively make a point, you know this, like I'll watch Fox, I'll watch CNN, like I'll like change it around.
Because I want to compare what the fuck they're saying.
And you can catch them doing some dirty shit from time to time.
Man. Oh yeah, who whatever agenda it fucking falls by, like they're going to back up their side of that story and leave out the other part.
Yeah, dude. So I don't know, man, but
that's why at least on our podcast we do have open fucking mind. Like we have our beliefs, but if someone can prove us otherwise, or at least even try to make us think a different way, like we're totally open to that shit.
Sure, man. And we're actually like some like fucking what gets me is like we're some like the chillest fucking dudes. Like as far as like inclusiveness and everything goes, we're just like, all right, cool. You know, like insert whatever demographic you want, whatever belief, whatever religion, whatever. And like we're just cool, like you just do your thing.
Yeah,
and
because
do right
again, like, shit. I don't fucking care if I don't agree with it. I'm gonna stay out of it, and don't force me to be in it, and we're all good. Like
my thing is like if you're gonna try to force me to sit there and be a part of
that's the thing.
Then if you want to speak, like you know, we believe in freedom of speech, right? The ability to say whatever you want, 100%. But the thing is, and what a lot of people have fucked up and they've fucking forgotten is you're still accountable for what you say.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then when you try to make them accountable, then that's where the problem starts. And that's when they can't deal with like the aggression or confrontation.
Like the students that were pro-Hamas until the CEO called them out.
Yeah. And then they just fold like little pussies and everyone will know that shit to the day they die.
But I mean, to be in that situation, where are they going to be like, I am pro-raping Jews? Like, they really kind of got to backpedal on that shit.
Yeah, dude. Oh
but imagine imagine if that was to be taken, like, imagine if they were pro-KKK, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how the fuck would that go? Versus if you're pro-Muslim, that's it. Like people are going to look past that. But if you were like pro-white, for instance, because or even let's pick a group that hasn't fucking. Well, I mean, comparing Hamas and the KKK is kind of fucking ridiculous. Hamas is way worse. They killed way more, but at least they have the same ideologies of hate to another party.
We can just call them hate groups.
Okay,
we'll just call them that. Because it's unfair, in my opinion, to compare and contrast them because of like historical timelines and differences in ideologies.
I'm just thinking like population or like the amount of damage done.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Okay, all right.
But yeah, well, like, hate group in general.
Yeah, because like Hamas is like a legitimate terrorist organization. Now,
yeah. The
KKK obviously like
at times they did some fucked up shit.
I mean, yeah, but in today's standard, yeah. But I mean they.
Today,
how do you say this?
I don't really think they do anything bad today. I mean, like as far
today
as, like,
they don't do
actual
shit.
Violent shit. I think they fucking have backyard barbecues and shit.
I was thinking more of like how would you judge their actions in the past based on today? Like, would you classify that as domestic terrorism when you're talking about acts that you were committed, say, 100 years ago?
Probably not, because
it would just go down as hate crimes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But then Hamas is actually committing active acts of terrorism.
Yeah.
So I would say,
which I guess what's the definition of terrorism?
Oh shit! You were like I mean, well, it's inciting violence to push a political ideology.
Yeah, and
which is what the KKK did do to some degree.
Yeah. I don't know. Like whenever I hear terrorism, I think traditionally blowing shit up, bombing stuff,
mass casualties.
Yeah.
that's where it comes into. But I mean, they're both fucked up groups by any fucking means.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So like, we're like not
No one's
sitting here
arguing that.
They're just be like, well, I don't think Hamas is that bad. I don't know. Well, the KKK guys are real nice. You know, they had a fucking fundraiser last week. I don't fucking know. Like, whatever. I mean, I think I saw a statistic one time. There's only like 3,000 members of the KKK left in America.
Really?
That are known of, like active members. Like 3,000. Yeah, they're on their fucking way out, dude. Once those guys die off, that shit's over.
Yeah.
But Hamas is on the rise.
Dude, they're fucking alive and going.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, man. Fuck it, dude. But then a part of me, like, with that Hamas shit, a part of me just wants to fucking say, fuck it. Just zero dark 30 this shit, dude. Show them, like, what America's really fucking capable of.
I mean, that's what it's going to take. Either, like, as far as a war between Israel or I guess the Jews and Hamas, like, the only way that would end is if one of those groups totally obliterated the other. And then it was not, like... But that's not going to happen.
Yeah, because, I mean, the casualties would be insane.
I mean, Hamas doesn't care about that because they do want total genocide.
Yeah.
Whereas the Israelis,
they just want to, like, neutralize the threat.
Yeah.
You know.
They're basically in defense mode.
Yeah.
I mean.
You know, I don't know. Did you ever go to Israel?
No.
Yeah. Never got a chance to go over there. A couple of my friends did. I got a, what do you call it? The hat.
Yarmulke?
Yarmulke, yeah. I got a yarmulke from Jerusalem. It's pretty cool. Should have worn it on this episode. Is that fucked up if I wear it?
Like, religion, appropriating religion.
Yeah. Yeah, I got told that I was appropriating a culture because I thought that I might want to get dreadlocks one day.
So now you're being told you're racist because you had a thought.
Oh, yeah, it was a real thing, man.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, this might be an hour and a half episode, dude. So, like, I guess to get off, like, the topic of, like, terrorism and our fucked up state of our politics in America, we can go on to my favorite subject, entitled women. So, you know, went out, like, we had, like, our homecoming game and stuff, you know, a football game, you know, and all that, and... You know, went out to like a local dive bar, college bar, basically, right? You know, some of my friends there, little older guys that I know, with ties to university and stuff. And, you know, we're drinking, having a good time or whatever. And there's a girl there that's a mutual friend of like some friends in the group. So she ends up at our table, right? And so we, you know, we're all having this conversation or whatever. So it wasn't just me like one-on-one. It was like a group. And she was... diehard feminist, like about as far left as you could possibly ever imagine getting, right? And I was like, okay, all right, let's do this, but I'm be cool, whatever. She actually told me she enjoyed our conversation.
Oh. At
the end of the night. I was like, oh, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
You know, but
don't get that off.
Yeah. I mean, I kept it cool, you know, kept it cordial. I mean, of course is what you do. But so she was just talking about like the history of the United States and then, you know, how things are, you know, for mostly people of color today and all this other stuff, you know, systemic oppression and racism that occurs and like all this other stuff. You know, and I was kind of, some of the stats she was throwing out, I was kind of playing devil's advocate, kind of poking holes in it, but doing it in a subtle enough way to where I wasn't going to like make a scene or like start something, you know what I mean? So, but she was receptive to it. So I brought up the idea, and when I was a kid, I thought about getting them, but I would never get them as an adult. But I was like, yeah, you know, I was thinking about like, you know, dyeing my hair blonde and getting dreadlocks. And she just firmly was like, you shouldn't do that.
I mean, to be fair, I think that shit's cool too. So
yeah, I think it's cool. For some people can pull it off. My ass can't. I can't, man. I got a fucking forehead like a drive-in movie theater. That shit would not look good. I'd probably look sick, dude. Like I had the mange or something. You know?
Just have like 6 super big ones and like a very large
like balding patches
spot.
and stuff in there, you know. But she said she gave me like, and she was very serious about it. She was like, "That's a cultural appropriation. Like you're stealing from my culture just because you like a haircut."
Oh, she was black?
Yes, she was.
Okay.
Yeah. And I told her, I was like, "Well, I don't think that's the case." I was like, "I just like the hairstyle. Is there anything wrong with me? I truly don't believe there's anything wrong with me having that type of hairstyle. I don't think so." It's like, can I not listen to music made by black artists now?
Yeah, like I listen to a lot of fucking rap.
Yeah.
Like,
can I not eat like Southern barbecue now? Like, is that just like a thing, you know?
No more fish and grits for me, man.
Yeah, dude. So I don't know, man. But that goes back to the younger generation shit we were talking about earlier, man. They're getting out of hand. But, you know, and I was just like, look, And which that wasn't like my only encounter that night. There's another one I'm gonna tell you about here in a minute. And it wasn't that bad. I did see her point of view on some things and stuff. But at the end of the day, I just didn't budge, man. I was like, dude, if I like something, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play this bullshit.
What's imitation is the greatest form of flattery or some shit. Like, that's not making fun of anything. It's saying like, I like this shit. I'm gonna try it too.
Sure. One of my favorite guitarists is like Jimi Hendrix. I've played so much of his music and stuff. I'm just not allowed to play his music now.
Yeah.
Like, how far does this fucking road go? You know what I mean? But whatever. For the most part, all things considered, she was a nice girl.
So with that being said, like, black people can't eat potatoes. I'm eating no fucking French fries with that burger.
I know, right?
Ridiculous.
But you can never drink beer. But
real quick, like,
sorry,
I know like Vikings had braids and shit too.
Yeah,
Nordic shit. Like, I don't think they caught.
Damn it! You should have been there. God damn it! You're my better half. But it brings me up to the second. So the first girl that I met, obviously we had this conversation, this little debate or whatever. It wasn't bad. I wouldn't consider it to be bad by any means. And she was like pretty.
Yeah, just a probably enjoyable conversation, really.
It was a very cordial disagreement.
Sometimes that shit's fun, really.
I mean, yeah. And so anyway, but part 2 is not the case.
Different person?
Different person. Okay. Different establishment. So we go out to the bar, like we're drinking or whatever, right? And we're at like a second place where we hop in my friend's vehicle. We got a DD, he's taking us there or whatever. And so this place is more of a restaurant, but it has a bar. But it's packed because of this homecoming game, right? Mm. So they're like, the normal bar, people sitting there, all the seats are full. It's like 2 people deep behind them. People just basically waiting to get drinks. It's pandemonium. It's fucking chaos, right? So me and my friend are waiting up there, and we finally get close to the front, and there's this girl sitting in one of these chairs, and she appears to be by herself. Mm. Crop top, got the name of our university on it. Good looking girl, probably around the age of 23 to 25 is what I put it at, right? And my friend, I couldn't hear it because it was loud, but he said something to her, kind of engaged in a small, casual conversation because he was like standing right behind her.
Waiting for his fucking drink.
Yeah. And I'm up here trying to order. But, well, I'm drinking a pint. I'm basically chugging it, so I'm going to get ready to get the next one, right? So I'm like chugging this like beer or whatever. And somehow this girl was like, she looks at me and she's like, well, he wants to buy me, she was like, well, he wants to buy me a margarita. And like, as soon as she said that shit, I like finished my drink and I set it down on the bar and I burped. And I was like, I didn't even make eye contact. I was like, yeah, you're barking up the wrong fucking tree with that one, And because I got this whole vibe, and it was just this whole like entitled vibe of like, I'm good looking, so I can just demand things from guys, and they're gonna give it to me.
Well, to be fair, I'm sure that's what happens to her most of the time.
And that's the case. We gotta remember, like, young, early mid-20s, good-looking girl. And, dude, she got, like, pissed.
That you wouldn't buy her a drink?
Yeah.
Even though you weren't even talking to her.
I've never met this girl in my life. I have no connection with her whatsoever.
You weren't even the one talking to her.
Yeah, dude. And so, like, she, like, audibly gasped. She's like, oh. And then she just, like, turns around in her seat to where her back is, like, facing me. And I just look at my friend, and he's laughing his ass off. And I was like, that just fucking happened? Like, one, I just think that's rude as fuck. Like, I would never go to someone and be like, hey, like, that's just trying to take advantage of people. That's just a shitty person. Stupid.
Yeah.
But then, two, I also got the vibe that she has never had a guy in her life tell her no.
Yeah.
And it broke the matrix.
Blew her fucking mind.
It just blew her fucking mind, dude. But that does bring us up to, like, the little clip that we wanted to show, right?
But, yes.
Oh, sorry. You want to wait? You want to hold up?
No, we've got to see this shit because
it's fucking
hilarious. But I do want to say, like, and that's, like, for her to act like that, at the end of the day, that's the fault of the man. Like, like men
allow that. I don't want to say allow, but they condone that behavior.
As words from the 40-year-old virgin, they put the pussy on a pedestal.
They reaffirm piss poor behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta get that pussy off that pedestal, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, dude. It's like what the fuck? I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, all that time I lived in Europe, like, I never saw shit like that, man. Like, and you come, like, into America, I really think it's religion, especially where we're where we're from, like down in like, you know, the South, like in Texas and stuff, Christianity runs like really rampant. Nothing against Christianity, but if you look at it like in the Bible, like women are kind of held on this pedestal of like, you know, like waiting till marriage. Like men have all these gender roles they have to feel and all these things they have to do, which is like fine, like cool if that's how you want to live your life entirely. But I think that's slowly morphed and like mutated into this whole like you serve me.
Yeah, but
I have something that you want, which is just a fucking hole to throw it in, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, you can just get like, it's like I always say, you can just go on Discord and hire somebody for $100.
Yeah,
one and done.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you're not looking for a relationship,
just staring in the distance, sound like the most depressing shit ever, dude. In America, it's so sketchy if you do some shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
Over in Europe, you know, it's like, oh yeah, that's just 3 blocks down on the left. Yeah.
And they'll give you a business card and be like, yeah, this is legit.
Yeah, bring that in, get 10% off. Like what? What? That shit still blew my mind. Like seeing that stuff over there, I was like, damn. Okay. Man. So I don't know. So how do you want to work in
the clip?
So is this a girl or what is this? What is it?
The jury is still out on that. Because
this looks like Jabba the Hutt, dude.
Just by saying that, I know some people already know who you're talking about because they saw the other video.
Because we're only going to show one clip. We'll say her, right? Because she's in this clip. She's posing as a girl.
Yeah.
Because I think she's actually transgender. I think it's a guy, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And what's her name is like, her handle on Instagram is like Al Weezy, and I think her actual name is like Ali Lopez.
Yes.
And oh my God, dude, this woman, so we're only gonna show this one clip, but she has other clips and she's just delusional as fuck. I don't know, man. Fuck it. I'll quit talking, man. Let's fucking get this pulled up, man. Let the people judge, man.
Blindfold on, so I don't really know what to ask you. You can take the blindfold off.
I'm not your typical 10, so like what looks like everything to you? Like what is the vibe?
Not everything, but it plays a big part.
For sure. Well, that being said, you can take your blindfold off.
Oh, fuck no. Jesus Christ.
Sorry, dude. You're going to have to play that back a little bit. That dude's fucking reaction.
Oh, fuck no. Jesus Christ.
That's how we would react. I mean,
just be like, oh, fuck no, Jesus Christ. It gets him out of there. Well, because like if you watch her in the other interviews, this is what gets me about this woman, right? If you watch her in the other interviews, she just talks about how she's a bad bitch.
She's so high and mighty of herself.
And she just considers herself to be a 10 out of 10 and like all like basically like entitled women, like just men need to cater to me, need to do all this shit for me. And so she goes on this.
She was originally a fucking man.
Yeah. I like that guy's reaction. Because she goes, I guess it's a blind date show.
Yeah.
And for those of you just listening on audio, this imagine a transgender Jabba the Hutt went on a blind date
with a regular looking dude.
With a regular looking dude, but the guy's blindfolded, and then they talk and get to know each other, and then he finally gets to take off his blindfold, and that, oh fuck Jesus Christ.
That's when he saw her.
That's when he saw her and he ran the fuck off stage, man. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, but
there was also I like the part she said, I have the mindset of a 10. Because, like, what the fuck does that even? Like,
what does that even mean, dude?
If I hear that, I know you got to be ugly as fuck. Because no one says that unless they're disgusting.
Well, I get the mindset of a 10. What the fuck is that, dude? Oh my God.
You're like, actually, she's not fucking lying because she does think she's a fucking 10.
Yeah.
So she wasn't lying on that.
Maybe it's just mental illness, dude.
It's like it has to be, right? Some sort of like delusional. Something's fucking wrong, man.
Fucking behavior, man. I don't know, dude. There's no way. There's no amount of money on the face of this fucking planet you could pay me to knowingly sit in that room. That's just talking. Like, there's no way. But I've also seen other interviews of her and stuff, and it's just like,
yeah, she's super obnoxious and just seems like a really shitty person to be around.
What is that show? It's called the Hard Pill Network, right?
Yeah.
And that guy's pretty good, man. He's good, man. He can articulate, like...
He can. He is really good. He's very good at interviewing, and he's good on his feet with, like, if they say something, he's really good at countering with a fucking argument.
Because it's mostly just, like, really hot, like, OnlyFans girls he has on there, right? And they're typically just, like, shitting on men and, like, talking about all this shit that men are supposed to do. And then he just breaks it down. He's like, yo, like, this is the reality. And, like basically, like, why would I even remotely entertain the idea of doing anything for you, with you, or whatever?
Yeah, or being in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like, that's like some of them that are like, some of those girls, I've watched some of the interviews, and some of them, they know. Like, they're not stupid. They're not in denial.
No.
They know what they do. They know what the repercussions are for what they do. And they're not trying to get anything else out of it. And I respect that. That's totally cool. Like, if you want to do that and you know,
Yeah, just
what
don't lie
you're about,
don't lie to yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? It's like someone you see who's like fat, and they're like, "No, man, I'm in shape." And it's like, "Are you?"
I don't know. The BMI says no.
You got a BMI at 30+%, dude. I think you need to calm down. I mean, I can't talk shit, but I mean, I see it all the time, man. You know, or like you'll see it with like people who like drink or like do drugs. They're like, "Oh, I don't have a problem. I just."
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
I mean,
It's like,
I've been on that boat. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. We all make a pit stop there once in a while, you know? Yeah, but I don't know, dude. That Ali Lopez girl, I mean, that shit right there makes me lose fucking faith in humanity. But you know what? Maybe she's not doing everything wrong. I mean, look at it. Look at how much.
Obviously not. She has a large following. We're talking about her.
Look at how much
People
like effort we put into our stuff, man. Like getting like a place set up, like getting like producing everything, like getting.
Okay,
stuff
well, to be
filmed.
fair, she doesn't have any of that. She's just on a show where other people do all that
Yeah,
shit.
but I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, our effort to try to reach people and stuff, man, and like provide entertainment, because I mean, that's mostly what it is. It's like, you know, more for laughter and stuff like that, in my opinion. Except for this fucking doom and gloom episode, you know, it's like whatever. But yeah, dude, you know, but she just comes out, says some dumb shit on like some other dude's fucking podcast. Now all of a sudden, like, everyone in the nation knows who she is.
Yeah.
Because I've seen like clips of her like a million times come across like my fucking, because I do use Facebook, so I've seen it come across my Facebook feed, and I'm just like, how? We say some crazy shit about Oprah though.
Yeah, suddenly we're the bad guys.
We're the bad guys, you know. I still can't believe that blew up, man.
Because it's the fucking, like, people want the truth.
People want the truth,
Whether
man.
or not we're giving it to them or not, that's up for debate, but people want it.
It was a good video. What got me about that video was that there actually wasn't like a whole lot of content. Like,
When we made it.
Yeah, it was just like very short and to the point, like quick punchline, like here you go or whatever. And then that was like the one that like blew up on YouTube, and I was like, oh.